Welcome to Streams of Income, hosted by best-selling author and entrepreneur Dr. David Powers, where we discuss streams of income, passive income, residual income, and even why there are dinosaurs and zombies in this intro. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive in.
Hey guys, Dr. Dave here. I wanted to do a quick preview, prologue, whatever you want to call it, for the podcast you're about to listen to or see. So I did this one with Ryan Reger, and we did the one podcast and recorded it on both sides so that he could post it on his for the Unleashed podcast, and I would post it over here for Streams of Income. And so you guys know, if you've been with me any amount of time, you know my branding is pretty much unedited, rough. Just take David as he is. And so here's a pretty cool thing, though. If you enjoy this podcast, here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and watch mine. Listen to mine. This is the unedited version. You'll get to hear my wife outside mowing the lawn right in front of my office window, stuff like that. And so listen to this one and see if you enjoy the unedited one. And but here's the thing. Ryan is probably he's going to do something a little different with his. He's going to polish his a little better. He's going to add different show notes than what I'm adding here. And so what I want you to do is check them both out, because I love that you're listening to my podcast, but I also want you to check out Ryan Reger's Unleashed podcast. And so the fun thing is you can listen to both of them, see which version you like better, and then maybe start listening to both of us, whichever side you're coming from, me or him. And so I hope you enjoy this. We're talking about some big new projects and dreaming big and not living small lives. God didn't design us to live tiny, insignificant lives. God created us to live big and live bold. And so that's kind of what this podcast is about. I hope you all enjoy it immensely. All right. I am recording.
All right, so you want me to start with, I guess, trying to keep in mind this is for both audiences. So am I the interviewer, or are we just having a conversation?
Just a conversation. I think people tend to like our conversations better than the interviews.
Cool. All right, well, let's do it. Dr. Dave, it's always good to see you, man. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Happy to be here, man. I've been looking forward to this all day.
Yes, me too. I always, sometimes I look at my calendar, I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do that call. But every time it's with you, it's like so cool. We think big stuff, and it's just fun dreaming. And that's one of the things we wanted to chat about. So what's on your heart? Because you're the one that had the idea of an episode that works on both shows. So what's on your heart about that?
Oh, man. So something big has kind of just dropped in my lap. And I'm a big Jim Collins fan. You know, the BHAG, the Big Hairy Audacious Goal. And so I've got in my mind this BHAP, Big Hairy Audacious Prayer. And so I've got this farm in upstate South Carolina, 5 acres. I mean, it's a little tiny farm in terms of farms.
Yeah.
And so there's been this wilderness area right in front of my house. I mean, like, you go to the end of my driveway and it's right in front of you if you don't turn left.
Okay.
And a developer bought it, all of it, 300 acres, and is planning on just, I don't know, I hate to say it this way, but just raping the land, just tearing all the trees out. Bulldozing everything that's there, running all the animals out. I mean, and we're talking bears, turkeys, deer, wild hogs, coyotes. I mean, pretty much any animal that lives in the woods in the southeast is in there.
Right. Oh my gosh.
And me and my kids play over there. And so I started thinking, you know what? I've been praying for that land. And I'm gonna log on. I'm gonna see who the agent is for this LLC, and I'm gonna just send him a letter and say, hey, I want to buy some of that. And so I did, and it turns out that the registered agent is the guy, the management company that owns it. Okay. And he sent me a map, and he said, "We'll circle on the map how much you want to buy, and we'll work it up a price." And so there's a section that is like already kind of delineated by power lines. Yeah, 100 acres.
Wow.
And for a guy that only owns 5, that's a lot of land. Right. But it's all forest, stream. I mean, it's beautiful. And so he said 20,000 an acre, and I thought, wow, that's a lot of money.
You know what this reminds me of? So I remember, I don't know if you were a fan of the show, but you were creating journals out of the Yellowstone show.
Oh, yep.
It reminds me of that whole series about the good guys who want to keep the land intact and the bad guys who want to develop it.
Oh man, yeah, it's exactly like that. Because in my mind, I've got, I guess, kind of like Yellowstone, just with less killing. I mean, I'm thinking like the Lorax because it's gonna be like that, just a bunch of stumps and dirt. And
Mm,
I thought, not only have I been praying for this land, but I want to save it.
mm,
And so I made him an offer. He said no because a lot of road frontage, all that kind of stuff. And most people are going to stop there. They're going to say, well, $2 million, that's a lot of money. It's more than I've ever seen in my life. I could never raise that. I'm
yeah.
thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? And
Yes.
so I got in touch with you. I got in touch with Travis Peters,
Uh-huh.
and I spoke to Travis last week, and I was never raised as a prosperity gospel kind of guy.
Uh-huh.
All that stuff like the secret prosperity, all that. I was
Uh-huh.
raised independent Baptist where you were holy, more holy the poorer you were.
Mm-hmm.
And so thinking that way and thinking that big is foreign to me.
Yeah.
And so I called Travis because I knew he would get me thinking in the right direction.
Yes.
And Travis got me thinking because my mindset is I'm going to pray for this. I'm going to ask God for it. Travis was like, claim it. You're already praying for it. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Get up at 4:30 and walk all over that land and pray for it, but claim it as if
Yes.
God's already given it to you. And
Yes.
so that's the way I'm looking at it. God's
I
already
love
given it
it.
to me. I just haven't found a way to hand the money over yet.
Yeah. What do you want to do with it? Do you just want to keep it intact for just your family, or do you have visions
Oh,
for other stuff with it?
this gets even better. This is what
Okay.
came out of that conversation with Travis, because Travis was pushing me in the mindset of you go ahead and claim it. It's going to happen. You just don't know the strategy yet. God's going to reveal that to you. The
Yes.
day after I talked to him, it dawned on me like
Mm.
God opened it up, and I was saying 100 acres, 100 acre wood from Winnie the Pooh. And
Mm.
so that's what I want to do with it. I've already bought the domain name, the 100 Acre Farm.
Yeah.
And so that's some amazing branding because it's all public domain. And that's a whole
Yeah.
other income stream is public domain stuff. But
Yes. Yes. Yes.
the early Winnie the Pooh stuff, the 100 Acre Wood, all that is public domain. And I can brand this place and build out a Pooh inspired sanctuary. And because I don't want to tear all the trees down, I want to do
Yeah.
shade grown crops like tea and pawpaws and elderberry
Uh-huh.
and things like that. All kinds of pollinator gardens because Winnie the Pooh
Yes.
had all the bees and the honey and all that. And that's
Yeah.
what I want to do. My dream has always been to have more of an agritourism kind of farm, not
Yeah.
a strip farm where people just come in and they till all the trees and grass and everything out. I want to have a farm where I can invite homeschool co-ops, things like that, and they can just come and
Yes.
get their hands in
Yes.
the dirt and play in the woods.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I need to introduce you to a couple that Melanie and I just met that are at the very beginning stage. They already have the land though, and they're cooperating with the city. Homeschool groups do come there and they're able to teach them principles of agriculture. And this couple is a believer, they're believers, and so they're teaching God through the soil and giving, essentially preaching the gospel using the land. And it's so cool. And they came to me about what else could we do with this? And so we're gonna go down there and visit them. But I
Yeah.
need to introduce you to them because they already a little bit ahead, but of where you are, because they already have the land and they already got some connections. They would be a big good connection for you on
Oh
who
yeah,
else to chat
exactly.
with or what else
And
this could
I'm
be.
I'm 15 minutes from Clemson University, which is one of the old agriculture schools.
Yeah.
And so I mean, there's lots of neat partnerships I could, especially since I'm doing shade grown. Traditional
Mm,
farming is just tear the land up, plant nothing but one crop, and
yeah.
grow a bunch of that. I want
Yeah.
to. It's called regenerative farming,
Yes.
regenerative agriculture, where
Yeah.
everything works together. You've got shade canopy, you've got trees growing or plants growing under the canopy. I mean,
Uh-huh.
and you can have trails through all that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
It
that
also
talk
kind
with
of
Travis
reminds me
really
of
that
what
strategy
Dan
opened
Miller
up.
was it was kind of also reminds me of Dan Miller's property and what it could be there. I mean, you
Oh,
could even have like let's say I want to host a business conference there, you probably could have some type of barn that's all decked out and like for me to host people there and then they can go on walks by themselves and, pray and
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, a matter of fact, Dan Miller's place. I mean, the place I have now, the 5 acres. That's why I bought this place.
Mm,
Wanted to build like Dan's sanctuary. Except we know Dan ran into those zoning issues,
yeah.
and so here where I'm at, it's literally unzoned. There is no zoning whatsoever.
That's
And
awesome.
even that property over there is unzoned. I mean, I could do whatever I want and not run into the same problems Dan did.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That's so awesome. I love it. What are some of your ideas on? So you have a Kickstarter campaign. You want people to donate to that. Do you have
Yeah.
thoughts on other ways to get that, raise the money faster, or partnering with somebody, or partnering with somebodies?
Yeah, I be honest with you, the Kickstarter has been my sole focus right now.
Yeah.
Just solely trusting God. Now, I've got the project, I've got the branding, the plan, the strategy. I'm going to put it out there,
Yeah.
but then I got to put feet to it. And so I'm looking into grants. Um,
Hmm.
I'm I'm checking into what USDA like farm loans are available. But
Okay.
I mean, this has got to be a God thing because I don't have the kind of money to make a down payment on a $2 million loan.
Right.
And so,
Yeah.
going the loan route is probably not going to happen unless God comes through on the Kickstarter side.
Hmm.
And so I'm looking into everything I can think of, maybe even some sponsorships with
Yes.
clothing companies like Carhartt and stuff
Totally.
like that.
Oh my gosh. Well, the fact that you do all those UGC videos, the user generated content videos, um, are there, oh gosh, I'm just thinking, well, thinking on that road for a second. Are there brands that you've done several videos for that are kind of like if you were going to launch, essentially they're not just any brand. There's ones that you actually like, wow, I'm excited about these
Mhm.
brands. Could you see some of them coming in and
Oh yeah.
buying a piece of it? And okay,
Yeah. I'm looking into. There's one thing Travis mentioned was leases, because don't want to buy all that and then sell it with the chance somebody might do something crazy with it. But
yeah,
leasing part of it out, because the thing is, I can't run a huge farm. I mean, so I could lease portions of it out to some beekeepers, somebody that's got some cows,
mm,
all the things that I haven't learned yet and don't have the time
yeah.
for.
Oh my goodness, wow. Do you know people in your area that you could talk to about this, like that are in these and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about
Yeah,
doing this."
working on that. That's
Yeah.
this all
Okay.
came on me so fast that
Wow.
my head's spinning. That's another reason God's gonna have to work this thing out because I'm
Yes.
doing what I can, but
Yeah.
the flesh is weak.
Right.
Yep.
That's so cool. I love it. Well, the things that God calls us to are oftentimes way bigger than us, and it's a God idea when it's something that you don't even have the faintest idea how you're going to do it.
Oh yeah, exactly. Man, I was sitting there last night, after the kids go to bed, I get the computer out and just do some brainstorming and stuff. And I finally hit a point where it's like, I don't even know how to make a to-do list for these next steps.
Yeah. Mm, wow. So Kickstarter is the first thing. How can people find that?
Sorry, man. I'm walking to another room because
Oh, no
life on a
problem.
farm, my wife is literally
Uh-huh.
right outside my window mowing the yard.
Oh, oh, no problem. I didn't hear it at all. We'll edit that part out. That's not a problem.
Oh, that's not a problem. The 'Cause you know how it is. Well, Dan Miller used to talk about that. He'd be making a podcast and somebody'd be weed eating outside his window.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So where can people find the Kickstarter campaign?
All right, so I bought the domain. It's the 100acrefarm.com. And 100 is spelled out, not not the numbers. And so it's just like the Winnie the Pooh 100 Acre Wood,
Yeah.
except it's going to be a Winnie the Pooh farm.
Yeah. So when you say Winnie the Pooh farm, are you thinking like leaning into that and like actually having like Winnie the Pooh all over the place or
Oh
what?
yeah.
Oh
Yep,
my goodness.
Winnie the Pooh and all the tiers on Kickstarter are going to be named after some of the animals like Piglet and
Uh-huh.
the others.
Oh my
And
gosh.
great thing about that, the first two Winnie the Pooh books are public domain and all the illustrations, everything that was in those.
Mhm.
And so I can use all that for branding and logos and everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Are you
I've been
thinking about
using
re
ChatGPT a lot too.
Mhm.
To I'm learning it because our
Yeah.
buddy James Pelton, he finally
Yeah.
got me leaning into it hard.
Yes.
And so now that I can use it to do images, I just tell, design me this logo with a Winnie the Pooh vibe. And so it's
Yes.
creating some amazing stuff, so much faster than
So
I could have done
awesome.
on Canva by myself.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been using ChatGPT about every day. Oh, I mean, probably literally every day, multiple times a day to brainstorm ideas. So it'd be perfect for this. Are you thinking about re-releasing the book since it's public domain? That gives you the opportunity to release it with like your notes or
Yeah.
change
Yeah,
it up.
I'm
What
going
are
to
your
do
thoughts
a
on that?
re-release of the book. Basically, I'm going to tear it apart word by word, and I'm not sure yet if it's going to be a special farm edition or if I'm going to write my farm into the book.
That would be cool.
Because I started thinking, see, here's the weird thing: is when Pooh went public domain, soon as it happened, a horror movie came out, and basically which I watch. I'm into that stuff.
Right?
Um, basically, here's what happened when Christopher Robin went off to college and left the animals with no food or anything. So the animals went crazy, and so I won't get into too much detail considering who our audience is.
Right?
But the way I'm looking at it is, and I even started writing some of the story already. I can write an ending to the Pooh stories, and it's
Yeah.
basically going to be, yeah, Christopher Robin grew up and quit talking to the animals and went off to college. What do the animals do when the big bad developer shows up and wants to destroy the woods? And Christopher isn't there to save them. And so that's
That's
kind of the
awesome.
branding that I'm looking at with my Kickstarter.
Oh my gosh. I love it. So who's the audience for coming out to the farm? What type of people do you feel like this is going to be for?
Well, definitely my demographic. People with kids, especially young kids, homeschoolers. I'm hitting heavy into the homesteading market as well because I'm making more and more connections just because of what I do here.
Yeah.
And the way the economy, I mean, the price of eggs, things like that, the
Mm,
some of the liberties that have opened up with the new presidential election, a lot more people
mm,
are looking into homesteading that never used to even think about it. I mean,
mm,
you got
mm.
suburbia, you got full of yards with people with chickens and everything now.
Yeah.
And it'd be awesome if they could come to my farm and I'll do a chicken class or something.
Oh, that's cool. My gosh. Yeah, think about all the little the artisans and people that are like you said, the beekeepers, like they could have their own classes there and just they're just utilizing. So it's not up to you to keep it all up and come up with new programming. It's literally like you're providing the opportunity. And if I'm a beekeeper, I can just come up underneath you and your infrastructure and create my own little space
Yeah.
that's unique
Yep.
to me.
And it's going to be like our state here in South Carolina has a really active agritourism association.
Mhm,
And so
mhm.
I'm already a member of it because of the camping and everything that I offer on my farm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, I mean, they'll do the signs on the side of the road. They'll help me set up a farmer's market. A lot of the insurance is covered. And so many
Wow.
things I can do with them too.
Oh my goodness. My mind goes to if you have a place where business owners or church groups or any other groups could actually meet. I mean, you could have, I mean, the ideas are limitless, but you could have somebody that comes in and, cooks meals from off the produce of the
Yeah.
land and
Farm to table
um,
is a big deal right now.
yeah. Is that something you're thinking about? Because I can imagine, having you're talking about tiny homes even to where let's say I hosted a business conference and I could bring 10 couples
Mhm.
or 10 people or whatever, 20 people, I don't know. And then we're meeting there. There's AV stuff, there's
Yep.
conference rooms, and there's places for people to sleep and eat. I mean, that
Absolutely. Yeah.
excites me.
A lot of different, I'm envisioning a lot of different types of short-term rentals, kind of like that. Some tiny houses, some glamping tents, but the area is big enough. I can disperse it also. So it's not like you're rolling into a big, ugly campground.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so many ideas. I
That's
just
so
got to buy the
cool.
land first, and then
Yeah.
yeah. And I've been back there so much. There's already trails. I know where the roads would be, so to speak. There's already
Yeah.
lots of trails through there that are pretty cleared out, and
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
That's incredible. What about it excites you the most of all these? Because there's so much potential you could do, so many things you could do. What do you feel like on your heart is the thing that you feel called to do with it?
The opening people's eyes to what you can do with a farm. That it
Mm,
doesn't have to be sitting on a tractor all day out in the hot sun. That
yeah.
people could build victory gardens, have chickens in their backyard, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
none of it is going to be large scale beyond the reach of a single family kind of farming.
Yeah.
It's all going to be emblematic of, oh, so you want to grow something? Here's some ideas. You want to have
Yeah.
animals? Here's what you could do.
I love it. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Well, that's a big, hairy, audacious goal or big, hairy, audacious. What was the P you said?
Oh, prayer, big, hairy, audacious
Prayer. Big,
prayer.
hairy, audacious prayer. I love it. That's awesome. Well, I wish you the best on the Kickstarter stuff, and I'll post the link to it. The 100acrefarm.com.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That's really cool. Man, there's so many, just so many options and ideas. I could see people want to partner with you in this and to help you raise the money because they're going to own a piece of it or lease a piece of it.
Yeah, yep,
Man, so awesome. You got to reach out to even folks in Dan's community about this because there might be somebody that, oh my gosh, I'd love to have a space like that. Almost like recreating the sanctuary again.
yep, yeah. I know a lot of people miss that place.
Hmm. Oh gosh.
Yep.
What else is on your heart? I love just chatting with you.
Well, the so a lot of your listeners would remember the Streams of Income podcast. So
Uh-huh.
that's continuing on.
Of
Of
course.
course, we already talked about it. This episode is on joint on both of them,
Yes.
but I'm planning on really beefing up the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of your listeners are already in there, and so
Hmm.
I'm making some changes to the Facebook group and trying to warm it up. So
Yeah.
if you guys are listening, start posting in the Facebook group. I'm trying to warm it up to where it's really more of a group brainstorming thing, where
Mm,
like my Kickstarter, I could post my Kickstarter in there and say, hey, can a few of you look over this and
I love
you
it.
know point out stuff I spelled wrong, or
Yes.
maybe instead of poo with an H, I spelled it the other way.
Right. What's your vision with that group and the whole brand?
I want to do like our friend Vincent has that stadium model for his
Hmm.
memberships. I want
Yeah.
that to be like the low cost tier of
Yeah.
streams of income, and I
Hmm.
want to grow it more to where there's a lot more active coaching and everything. Because I
Hmm.
love brainstorming with people. I love it when people
Yes.
just call me up and say, "Hey, can I buy an hour of your time?" And I got an idea I want to
Yeah.
run by you. And
Yes.
that's what I enjoy because, to be honest with you, I love doing that for them. But sometimes I get so many ideas, or it just awakens, gets the brain box moving, and
Hmm.
makes me think of some new ideas for my stuff.
Absolutely.
It's a really neat thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really wanting to do some more tiers with
Hmm.
streams of income, and starting out with that Facebook group being the low cost one.
I love it. And so you're wanting to charge for access into the group coming up?
Yep, moving that
Okay.
way. Yep,
Nice.
and that way, because I've found that well, you've probably experienced this too. People that get something for free, just
Yeah.
they don't do much with it, and
Sure.
most of the members, I've been looking at all the members, most of them are members of more than 100 groups on Facebook, me
Wow.
included.
So they're not even seeing your stuff if they're not
Yeah,
engaged.
yep, they're in so many groups that they just, oh, it's a free group, I'll sign up for that, and they never see posts, they're never
Yes.
active. And so,
Right.
I find that paid people, that's why I want to do it low cost. Paid people are more active because
Oh,
they want to get something
absolutely.
out of it.
Yeah, for sure. What's the thing like you mentioned that you enjoy chatting with people and business, helping them with business ideas, and I'm wired the exact same way. Um, do you feel like that's one of your strongest suits? I mean, obviously it's something you love to do, but does it feel like that after you get off of a call like that with somebody, are you like energized?
Oh man, I'm not only energized, but I've got 2 pages of notes they don't even have to do with the person, because I'll
Right.
type up their report and send it to them.
Oh my
Here's the
gosh.
notes I took, but I've got another whole page of notes for me.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh
like,
my
oh no,
gosh.
10 more business ideas I want to work on.
How do you help somebody, and this is, I mean, obviously good content for your audience too. How do you help somebody narrow down all the ideas? Because if they're entrepreneurial like us, they'll see squirrels everywhere and opportunities everywhere and dollar bills everywhere. What's your thoughts on getting it clear to these this one thing to start with? Like how do you what's that process if you were interviewing me and I've got all these ideas and things I feel like I could do, how do you help streamline it into this is what you should do?
It's kind of like that book, The One Thing. I try to zero down to 2 or 3 action steps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the rubber hits the road, because I find out if I can give them 3 action steps that, let's say those steps are doable within 1 month,
Yeah.
they're either going to do it or they're not. And if they're
Yeah.
not going to do it, they may come back to me in a year and say, look, yeah, I never did it. I need some more help. But if
Yeah.
they come back to me within a month and they're like, all right, I'm done, what's next?
Yeah.
It helps me, it really zeroes out who's willing to work and who isn't.
That's good. Yeah. Do you feel like they're and this is something that Dan talked about a lot. Do you feel like that they're that first stream of income, let's say that I have a regular job and I'm looking to create an extra stream of income because I want to start moving away from my job. What's your thoughts on do I have to be passionate about that income stream or not?
Yeah. Yeah. I want people to the point where I don't want them to get depressed or anything, but
Yeah.
I want them to the point where they hate their job so much
Uh-huh.
that they're gonna work harder. And
Yeah.
I'm huge on family. I mean, I got my own 5 kids that everything I
Mhm.
do is so I can spend more time with them. So I'm definitely not trying to get people to work versus playing with the kids.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. I mean, most of the people I work with, they could knock out 10 hours of Netflix watching a week, and there is part-time
Yes.
job time. Or for
Yeah.
that matter, do what I do and have Netflix on while you're working. I mean, at least pull
Yeah.
out the computer and put it on your lap. And because that's what I do at night when the kids are asleep. I get some ideas at night and stuff and just want to work
Mm.
on stuff, but I don't want to take time away from them.
Right.
So I'll throw on a Winnie the Pooh horror movie or something and just,
Yeah.
I'll
And
watch
start
that while
working.
I'm working on something.
That would not work for me. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, I feel like I mean, I've heard different people say, like Dan would always say, you've got to be passionate about it. You want to love your work. Other folks, I think even Rabbi Lapin has said, you don't really have to love or feel passionate about what you're doing at the beginning, because you start making money and serving people, you're going to become passionate about it.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I see both sides. I
Yeah.
typically will say that if
I
you're
guess,
walking in, if you're doing something that you feel wired to do, like it's part of your programming, it's already in you, like it's using a talent, skill, ability that God's placed in you, that you're gonna be more likely to succeed with that.
yeah.
Because you could probably come up with 100 different business ideas of things I could be doing. And yes, I could go out and start a lemonade stand if I wanted to, and I feel like I could do well with that. But I would not enjoy that.
Yeah.
And so I'm just, yeah, what are your thoughts on, like, if somebody's one of the things when I was interviewing people a lot with streams of income, if they say, how do I create a stream of income quickly? If somebody's in a position where they need to make money today or like by the weekend in order to eat or something, they're in that serious of a position, they don't have the runway to create a YouTube channel around their passion and teach people how to do something. It's probably going to be go find something that you can sell online,
Yeah.
something
Yep.
quick like that. So that's how I kind of have had a fork in the road of, like, do you need money right away? Well, these are some things you can do to bring in money quick. It may not end up being your main business eventually, because hopefully most people are in a situation to where they've already got money coming in from a job, and they're just carving away, as Dan Miller would talk about, carving time off to start building that second stream of income that is around something that they're passionate about. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, exactly. And I would say there, no matter how passionate you are, there's going to be parts of that business that you hate. And so
Yeah.
you've got to identify that though. Don't get stuck thinking I'm always going to have to do this part. Like
Right.
we mentioned Chat GPT earlier. I've been doing the free version for a long time, but just last week I finally got a pro account. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I hired 15 new people. And
Mm-hmm.
so,
Yes.
in that
At $20
sense,
a month.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and the thing is, I love writing,
Yeah.
just writing things that I want to write about. But copywriting, I don't necessarily enjoy that. And guess who's doing
Right.
that for me now?
Yeah.
It,
ChatGPT.
matter of fact, my kids had me name her because we call it a her. We
Uh-huh.
named her Roz from that Wild Robot movie, and so it's no longer Chat GPT. It's Roz, my new assistant.
That's awesome. I love it, man. So with the streams of income, I know you have like a buffet of options for people. How do you get somebody comes in and starts talking to you? How do you narrow it down? Like because there's
I
literally,
just
you could
worked
probably come
on
up with
a
100 ideas.
I worked on a document today that, and I'm going to create an algorithm so it's visual based, almost like an
Yeah.
infographic,
Yeah.
um, to avoid the overwhelm. And so,
Mm,
leaning into your passions, things like that, because
yeah.
people, when I mention multiple streams of income, the first thing people think is, well, I don't have time for 15 more side hustles.
Right.
And that's not what I want for them.
Yeah.
It's got to go down the algorithm, find the things that work with what you're doing,
Mm, yeah.
ways to make additional. And to me, multiple streams of income at its most basic means I'm making an income, I've got an income source, and I'm
Mhm.
finding ways to make money off that one source in different ways. Not that I'm
Yes.
constantly adding more streams.
Yes, exactly. That's so good. I think I mentioned on a Facebook chat to you that I could help build a bot that does that. I could totally
Yeah.
help you with that. I've gotten really good at the bots. And so we could co-create that. Or I mean, I'll create it and give it to you. I don't care. And but you could put it on your account and to make it to something you could use publicly. But you could totally put people through a process that asks the AI is asking them questions.
Yeah.
It's based on all of your content. We could download episodes that you think were key to this, anything you've ever written, and we could train the bot on you, on all your content, and then it could help us co-create a path that it would ask me questions that would, and it would also know all of the different streams of income that you teach about. So if,
Oh,
imagine, and I use this buffet example a lot because I like to eat, but imagine you're walking into this big, massive buffet and you just know, you're hungry, but you don't know what's the best or anything. This bot could help people identify how are you wired, gifted, and called, and what are your interests? Do you need to make money tomorrow, or do you have a longer runway? And the answers to these questions would help narrow down the idea. So, for example, if I could not stand the idea of being on video, that just freaks me out. Well, I'm probably not going to be a really good candidate for doing videos like you do for user generated content and partnering with brands, or I don't even want to be on social media, for example. Well, that's not going to work for that. If it knows the answers to those questions, it could craft like a list that are approved by you or even other ideas potentially you've not thought of that are specific to me in my situation. So that would be
that
fun
sounds
to do
pretty
if
cool.
you're interested. Okay.
Yeah, and that's an area where I have zero knowledge or
Okay.
expertise.
All right. Well, let's do it. If you have any content you want to add to it, we can actually, I could probably build it on yours, or show you how to do it. We could even jump on a call together and do it, or I could do it on mine, play with it, and then say, here's the prompts I'm using
Yeah.
and recreate it on yours. And you would just upload it with anything that is relevant that
Okay.
you want, even outside content, outside PDFs, Dan Miller stuff, throw it in
Yeah.
there. And then
Okay.
it becomes this all-knowing bot based on this content and helps people guide them through a process of identifying which streams of income might be a fit for them.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. You know, you got my mind thinking now because I'm thinking like a coffee bot too for my coffee review
Yes.
website.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
absolutely. Happy to help you create that. I've gotten decent with ChatGPT in over the last few months
Yeah.
just by using it every day. And I'm also in a Facebook group called AI Prompts for Entrepreneurs.
Oh,
That's a really good Facebook group. Actually, I'll put it in the chat. Anybody else that wants to get in that, uh, I'll find that here real quick.
so hey, another idea I've
Yeah.
been kind of throwing around. I'm not sure if I want to add it as a tier to streams of income yet or anything.
Okay.
But you and I always talked about that idea factory thing, the
Yes.
business ideas, and so I'm thinking business in a box kind of a thing, almost
Yep.
like a those membership boxes you get once a month.
Yes.
And so it kind of kicking it old school Dan Miller style with the binder and all that kind of stuff, and you actually will get a business in a box once a month. And so it could be a business like let's say for instance building a bot, how to build a
Yes.
bot and start a business from it, things like that. You know, if
I
you
love
need a
it.
VA for this kind of stuff, here's who you contact, which we know a guy, right?
We do. Okay, here's that link. I'll put it in the chat here, and I'll also put it in the show notes for you guys listening. This episode's a little bit different. It's more time we're just hanging out and chatting. Um, but that's a fun group to get into because you'll see what's possible with AI, and it's just done wonders for me and some of the output I've gotten. The
Yeah.
input, I mean, the output's only so good as the input that you put into it.
Oh yeah. I mean, one little thing that changed how I use ChatGPT was giving it a role before I would
Mm,
ask for something.
yes, you are this. Now,
Yep. Yeah. Think
oh,
like the consumer or think like a marketer or,
yes. You know, another fun one I heard saw in this group is creating your own board of advisors. So imagine that you have your own board of people that are speaking into your business and your life. Who would those people be? Like some of the people you've admired, even if they no longer are living, especially if it's somebody that ChatGPT would know something about. They've written some books, they're popular enough
Mhm.
that could sit on your board, or even ask ChatGPT for ideas for these people and say, I want to create a board of advisors. And that's been fun because you can ask questions and you'll see all of them respond
Yeah.
as that person into your
Oh man,
situation.
I
Um,
would have never thought of that. I'm man, like the guy that wrote Profit First, Mike
yes,
Michalowicz. I mean, somebody
yes,
like that. I mean,
yes. Yeah, totally. I'll help. I'll send you the prompts and I'll put them in the show notes, guys, for those of you listening. But I'll send you the prompt for that I
yeah,
used, and I've it's been pretty cool because then you can watch them go back and forth because then they're
oh
talking to each other. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, this stuff it helps us, but man, some of this stuff is scary.
yes, oh for sure. Yeah, the thing I have to be careful about, and I got about 10 minutes left here, is just I don't want to replace the Holy Spirit with ChatGPT.
Yeah,
He's the ultimate authority, the ultimate wisdom. And but one friend told me recently how you can look at ChatGPT. If it's already confirming things that the Lord has told you or you sense in your heart He's telling you to do, then it's just an added layer of confirmation because it's really good at seeing patterns and putting them together. It's almost like you've given ChatGPT all the pieces of your life, especially after you talk to it for a while. It learns you and it can start to see things about you that maybe you don't see, or it words it in a way that you're like, yeah, that's me, and it just resonates with your spirit.
yeah,
And so that's a good thing. Now, if it tells you to do something that's contrary to what you sense in your heart or what the Bible tells you, obviously not. But just even, but also if you prompt it, like you said, you are a spirit-filled Christian business coach.
yeah,
Advise you from biblical. It's so good. I mean, for some of you that are guys scared of it, that's fine, but try it out. Just check and see if it resonates with your heart and provides ideas. At the very least, it'll give you some ideas on things that you maybe never thought of,
yeah,
and will help you flesh out what you're already thinking.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing for that. And yeah, I keep looking at it as a robot. I mean, it's like hiring new people, but yeah,
Yes.
I need to have a certain view of it so I don't lean on it too much.
Yes.
But it
Exactly.
has really helped my productivity.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I mean, you're the king of like all the no content, low content books, but even thinking about the small content books that you could pump out with this.
Yeah. Yep. Matter of
Are you
fact, I
still
was in
doing the
another one of
printable
Jenny's
stuff?
classes last week
Yes.
getting some more ideas.
Okay. Yeah, tell me, are you still doing all the printables and all the KDP books?
Yeah, yep. That's a fun income stream. And Jenny introduced me to another Jenny that helped me really work on my KDP ads. So
Okay.
the ads that run on Amazon.
Oh,
And so
wow.
that's helping me with some sales.
Tell me, I mean, don't share any numbers you're not wanting to share, but what kind of a income stream is that right now? Big, small, or
It's medium.
okay.
UGC's pretty much took over and eclipsed everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's my income streams are UGCs and what I kind of lump into consulting coaching is
Uh-huh.
the big ones. And then
Okay.
under that would be online publishing.
Last time we talked, you were in the five figures per month in UGC. Is that still right?
Yeah. Yep,
That's
it's
awesome.
rolling along pretty good. Yeah, and I'm getting to the point where I'm raising prices too because I'm getting so much coming in that
Wow.
I'm done with the whole I'll be the cheapest guy out there thing.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Wow. And do you still have that course for anybody that's like, I want to learn more about that?
Yeah, yep. I
Okay.
uploaded that seminar and let's see, that's ugcvideoworks.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean somebody could take that seminar and then start a business the same day pretty much.
Absolutely. How quickly, I mean, if I was, sound like that's something I'd be interested in doing, how quickly could you expect to get a gig from that?
Within a week. I mean, it's
Wow.
going to take you just a little bit to get traction on Fiverr.
Uh-huh.
But here's the thing. I mean, they always say the niche down, and that's where it is. I've got a
Mm,
niche for the middle-aged, blue-collar, rough-looking guy, and I don't
yeah,
mind that because it's
that's
making me a lot
awesome.
of money.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I mean, and then anybody could do a niche. I mean, somebody could hop on there. I don't know, mid-70s grandma niche.
Yeah, there's
Anything.
probably few people doing that, aren't there?
Right. I mean, and it's just families with kids, families with dogs. I mean, whatever.
Mm,
Guy with guitar, whatever. There's so many
yeah,
niches you can do with that thing.
that's awesome. Especially if you think about it as not its own thing, but that it ties into your brand, which it does for you perfectly, Rugged
Yeah,
Dad. Um, which then it goes along with what you're talking about, the streams of income. It's not like I'm helping people make money online, but also I do UGC videos. it's essentially the brands have melded together and
Oh yeah.
they complement each other.
Yep. Oh, and here's another big thing since we're getting close to the end. Where that branding helped is I'm renting out part of my farm this summer for a movie. They're filming or actually a TV series.
What?
And I'm going to be one of the main stars too. And
Ah,
so that's an outgrowth growth of the UGCs is
that's
I'm going to
awesome.
be, it's going to be it's an apocalyptic type world where they're hunting down Christians and Christians are on the run. And so
Wow.
I'm the rebel Christian leader guy.
That's
And
awesome.
so I get to act all like a general and everything. And they're using my farm for 3 or 4 of the episodes.
That's incredible. I love it. That is so cool. Well, where else can people find you? We got the 100acrefarm.com. We've got the UGC Video Works,
Tell you what,
Streams
if
of
they want to find
Income.
everything, redteamgoals.com.
There
That's
you
I've
go.
got links there to everything I do.
Cool. And I guess we're launching this on Streams of Income too, so you guys can find me at ryanreger.com. And if this didn't go as you wanted it to, we can reshoot this because I was the one asking all the questions, but
Oh no, this is
um,
perfect.
okay.
That's one of the reasons I started cultivating an unedited brand, and that way, if I
Uh-huh.
screw up, people have fun laughing at it.
That's right. My gosh, what else? Anything else?
Man, I mean, there's more going on, but if I say too much else, it's going to seem like I'm just doing too much.
Right? You got to focus.
Yep. And this week, the focus is getting this Kickstarter launched before this podcast comes out.
Yes. I love it, man. Well, I appreciate you. It's always fun chatting
Yeah.
and
Yep.
keep
Thanks
me
for the
posted
time.
on everything. And let's jump back on and do this again.
Yeah. Sounds good. Hey guys, I want to tell you about something really big before I close out this podcast. Now, you may hear me talk about it from time to time on some of the podcasts because I'm just wanting to tell everybody about this big new project that's going on. So, near my house, there is a piece of land that came up for sale. It's not on the open market right now, but I spoke to the person that owns it and it's available and they're getting ready to sell it anyway. And so it's actually 100 acres near my house. And so their plans are likely to sell it to a developer who's going to tear all the trees down, kill the animals, or run them off. I mean, we're talking deer, bears, turkey, wild hogs, coyotes, everything, anything you could think of that lives in the southeastern United States, and they're going to be killing the trees, just bulldozing everything and just getting rid of it. And so I have the opportunity to buy 100 acres right next door to my house to 10x my farm, close to 10x my farm, and just do something truly amazing here. And so here's the neat thing: it's 100 acres, so we're calling it the 100 Acre Farm, kind of like Winnie the Pooh's 100 Acre Wood. And we're actually doing a Pooh themed farm over there. That's what we're planning on building as soon as we buy this property. It's not an if, it's not or we're going to try to do this. We're going to buy this property. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm depending on God for that, and God may use some of you for that. And so here's where you can come in. We've got a Kickstarter set up at the100acrefarm.com. So it's 100 spelled out, no numbers. It's spelled out just like Winnie the Pooh is. The100acrefarm.com. Check out the Kickstarter. Give anything you can towards that. We're going to have some really cool reward tiers, doing some cool things here on the farm. And so some really cool reward tiers if you'd like to support it. If you can't support it, I understand. Maybe finances are tight, anything like that. But I would guarantee that you have a network of people that you could at least post the link to. And maybe some of them would like to support it, join in. Maybe you know some friends that are wanting to start farming or start homesteading, something like that. And they want to get in on a project where some of those reward tiers will be me coming out to their land, to their farm, to their house, doing some things in regard to homestead training, CPR training, getting their house all set up for farming, that kind of thing. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. Please check it out. And even if you can't give towards the project, please pass on the word. Thanks. And now I'm looking for the stop recording button.